Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Becca, and if you're not new here, welcome. Today's video is one that I'm super excited for. It is another back to school video. If you haven't seen my other back to school videos, I did college advice and things that I wish I knew before I started college, a back to school supplies haul vlog, and a what's in my college backpack. So make sure you go check out those videos. I'll link them in the description down below. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for clicking on today's video. So happy you're here. On my channel, I post college videos, vlog videos, and lifestyle and everything relating to that. So if you're interested in that, make sure you hit the subscribe button and join the fam. I'm gonna put timestamps in the description box if there's something that you're specifically interested in, so you can skip ahead to that part because I'm not here to waste your time. I'm just here to provide a fun video for you guys. I'll keep the timestamps in the description and just fast forward to the part that you want to see. A little bit about me. I'm going to be a sophomore in 2 weeks. Technically, I already am a sophomore now, but anyways, obviously school is going to be a little bit different this year. It'll be interesting to have all my classes online. I'm gonna be doing a first day of school vlog, so make sure you stay tuned for that video as well. Why I feel like I'm making this video. I just wrapped up my first year of college, and there's things that I did through note-taking and things that I wish I did better through note-taking. I've compiled this video for you guys, and hopefully it's helpful and you're able to take away something from it. I took paper notes for my math, my biology, and my chemistry classes, and this was because I found it more helpful to draw the diagrams rather than trying to find them on Google Images. And also that was another way of learning for me. I need to write things down and draw diagrams myself because I feel like I take it in better than if I were to go on Google Images and find a diagram, because I probably honestly wouldn't put a lot of time into looking at the diagram, whereas if I'm drawing it, I actually have to put time in to make the diagram, if that makes sense. Another thing I want to say is to use different notebooks for different subjects. Some people like to put all of their subjects into one notebook. I know 5-star has a notebook that's like 5 subject, 3 subject, and they put everything into one notebook and find that easier. Personally, I find it more helpful to have each subject divided by each notebook so that I don't get things confused and mixed up. And also, it just kind of keeps it more organized for myself, but that's something that I like to do that was helpful for me. So when it comes to taking notes in my notebook, I like to start with the header, and this is just what the page will be about, and I'm doing that in a highlighter, and then I'm going over it in a black pen in cursive just to make it a little more aesthetically pleasing when I open to this page. And then I like to do little doodles sometimes. And then I like to put the date in the top right corner because it helps me know when the notes were taken. And also if I ever need to look back at a certain page of notes, I know generally when those were taken, and so that can be helpful. Under the header, I put the subheader, and usually this is either a chapter from the textbook that I'm reading or just the subheader, and just helps me to stay organized as well. I like to use different bullet points when it comes to taking notes, so I'll do circles like shown here, I'll do lines, I'll do arrows, I'll do squiggly lines, anything to just kind of separate one thing from the next. And sometimes you have to do sub bullet points, and so that's why I like to change it up and have an arrangement of different bullet points to use. It also makes the notes look a little bit nicer. As for diagrams, when I have to draw those in my notes, I like to have them separated by brackets, and so here I'm drawing 2 examples of brackets that I like to use. And this can honestly be used for not just diagrams, but anything in your notes. I like to use those a lot. Here's a little tip for when you're taking notes and you want them to be aesthetic and you actually want to feel like reading them after class. Something that I found helpful was color. I like to put highlighter, different colored pens, anything other than just pencil, because it's hard to look at a page and actually care. Personally, I found that it was hard to look at a page that was just pencil. Like, it's just hard for me to focus on that. I don't know. I like when pages have color, pictures, well, diagrams and stuff like that. That's something that I like to do. Okay, so if you haven't been in a lecture class and haven't kind of, you don't really know what to expect when you're in a lecture class, let me do a little breakdown for you. Basically, you're in a room with hundreds of other kids usually. This might be, okay, don't mark my words because I know COVID's gonna change a lot of stuff, but in a regular lecture class before Rona, this is what you would expect. So you're in a room, usually like an auditorium room, and it's the professor and hundreds of other kids. You are just being lectured to, as the class is called, for about an hour, depending. It could be longer or shorter, I don't know, depends on the class and everything. The teacher tends to go quickly paced because he has to keep the class within a certain duration, as well as he's not just gonna pause every time somebody needs to write something down. So things to do when you're taking notes in a lecture class. Something that really helped me was to take pictures of the presentations and to take pictures of the slides while your professor is going through them. If he's going ahead but you haven't finished a note, you can just look back at your camera roll and you can copy down what you missed. If there's an option, not all professors do this, but if you can access the presentation while he's talking about it, then you'll have the presentation on your screen in front of you, like on your personal device, and then it'll also be in front of the whole class, but you have it to yourself, so you can kind of click through the slides and everything at your own pace, which is helpful as well when you're trying to take notes. Something to note is to write down the main points of the lecture rather than all the small details, unless it's something like history and maybe the dates are important. Just try to write down things that stand out to you, and especially if the professor says this is going to be on your test, make sure you note this. Definitely write that stuff down. It's kind of a given though, but just want to throw that in there. Another thing to note about how I took notes in lecture class, I actually took notes with paper. So a lot of people during lectures do notes on their laptops because they get typed faster than they can write. Personally, I've found that it was helpful to write down notes and keep them organized in a notebook. Also, like I said previously, I need that extra way of memory, so I need to write things down rather than typing it out because that's just more helpful for me. Everybody's different, so maybe typing is better for you. For the classes that I did laptop notes, I did psychology and human development. For psychology, it's because I actually took notes with a friend, so we would always share on Google Drive the same document and we would both be typing, because this teacher that we had for psychology talked about 6 times faster than the average human. So it was really hard to keep up with him, and it was a long class, and so instead of missing every other point, we took notes together and we were able to get everything. So that was really helpful. Maybe that'll be something that you could do. Honestly, this video is kind of weird to make because I don't even know how school's gonna be during COVID, but if it's possible for you to take notes with a friend, that might be helpful. At the same time, it's helpful to have your own notes because you know how to understand your notes and not the person next to you. But in this situation, she was a friend of mine from high school. We knew each other and it was just easier for us to take notes together. And we were sitting right next to each other. We'd be like, did you get that? And like comparing. So when it comes to taking notes on my laptop, I like to use Google Docs. And I don't really know why. I know there's a lot of different programs that you can take notes on, but I've just preferred Google Docs. I've been using it for the longest time, so I'm comfortable with it. Anyways, as soon as I open up a doc, I put the title or the chapter or what the discussion is going to be about so that I'll be able to find this document later on. Then I'll start with the header. What is my note going to be about? After I write down the topic, I like to change the font up just because it makes it a little more customized. And sometimes I even like to add color. I feel like when I add color to my notes, it helps me to actually want to read them later. I don't know. Basically, if I see a page that's just all the same color, it's hard for me to focus, so I like to have the notes different colors. After the header, I put a subheader just like in my paper notes, and this just helps me to stay organized, and I'm choosing a different color for this as well just to make it a little more fun. Obviously a color that you can see, so that's why I'm kind of messing around with the colors at that point. And then I'm doing bullet points. So when it comes to bullet points in Google Docs, there's about 6 different options, and there's actually another one that I know how to do, so I'll show you in the video. But I like to do circle, bullet points, and again, I'm changing up the color here. I'll do multiple subheaders to stay a little more organized in my notes, and then I select different bullet points. And I like to mess around with this, just kind of customize it a little bit more. And this is just showing you the different options that you have in Google Docs. Something you might not know about in Google Docs is that you can create your own arrow, and you do this by hyphen, hyphen, and then a greater than sign, press space, and then you've created your own arrow. To make the notes a little more appealing, I like to insert clip art or diagrams and images from Google just to make your notes a little more appealing. I do prefer making my own diagrams in my paper notes, but if you're taking notes on your laptop, you can also add diagrams from Google. And so this is just me adding in a little picture of Nemo into my notes. This wraps up today's video. I hope it was somewhat helpful, entertaining. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I post videos every week. Like this video if you liked it and if it was helpful to you. And if you're excited to start school, comment down below any video ideas you want me to do or have. And I don't really have much else to say. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye guys.